Hello. This is my pro-life testimony. Um, I was diagnosed with lupus when I was 18. Those of you who don't know what lupus is, it's where your immune system attacks your own body instead of outside forces. My main symptoms were joint pain, arthritis, sun sensitivity, extreme fatigue. By the time I was 21, it had begun to attack my kidneys, and I lost kidney function, and I underwent chemotherapy for 3 years. Horrible chemotherapy. But it put the lupus nephritis in remission, so that's good. I was pretty, symptom free for a little while. I met my husband. Backtrack. The chemotherapy was fried my ovaries. I was told I probably wouldn't be able to have any kids, which I was fine with because I really didn't want any kids. Fast forward, I meet my husband. We get married. We get married in August. In October, I began to feel icky. I think any woman who's been pregnant can pretty much remember that feeling where they kind of knew they were pregnant, but didn't want to admit it. Well, people like me who didn't want to be pregnant. The news was devastating. We had only been married 2 months. I cried. The first words out of my mouth were effing pregnant. And then tears. At this point, I had been pro-life pretty much my whole life. I saw it as murder from day one. I don't think a child should have to pay for other people's consequences or for other people's choices. I had been witness to many girls getting abortions for no other reason than they couldn't keep their legs closed. Not that that's every case, but that's in every situation I've seen. Ironically, my entire pro-life life, as soon as I became pregnant, the first thought that came to mind was I gotta get rid of it. I called abortion clinics, and none of them would touch me because of my high-risk status, having lupus and lupus nephritis. And so I ended up sitting down and thinking about what I was going to do. At the time, I had a couple of friends that were trying to get pregnant. For years, and couldn't get pregnant. I had a friend who just lost her job, broke up with a very short-term boyfriend, lost her income, so she lost her place to live, and got pregnant with this guy and still kept the baby, even though she lost a lot in the process. I was surrounded by inspirational stories that at the time probably weren't that insignificant, or they thought weren't that significant. They're they're life altering, obviously, but sometimes you don't think the decisions you make can affect somebody else's life. So to those friends who were there and I was witness to what y'all went through, y'all affected my choice. So, I decided to keep my baby. sorry. When I think about the fact that that I wanted to get rid of her when it was my choice to have sex. Granted, it was my husband, but it was my choice. That's when I think the choice is made. Excuse me. So when it came down to it, I spoke with my husband, and he said he would support any choice I made. And I decided to keep her. And speaking with my doctors, and speaking with my doctors, my kidney doctor and my primary care physician suggested I abort for my health. Being pregnant takes a toll on your kidneys, and I was working on less than full function. So I had what you would say an out to, get rid of her with justification and, for the safety of my life. But I couldn't do it. Upon telling my mother and father, they weren't happy about it either, because my mother knew exactly what that meant. That meant high-risk pregnancy. It meant complications on my end. So, we decided to go through with it, which was horrible. I hated being pregnant. I was so much more tired than I had ever been before. I had to take injections daily into my stomach, which was terrifying because I always felt like I was going to poke my kid. It was a struggle. But I was at the doctor 2 or 3 times a week, had to go to the hospital if I sneezed wrong, they made me go to the hospital. 8 came, and I had to deliver my daughter early. She was only 5 pounds and 9 ounces. But she was healthy. And absolutely beautiful. So I share this story because not only do I want more people to become pro-life and fight for those children who didn't ask to be born, but being the medical excuse for abortion is less than 3% of all abortions. And that always seems to be one of the biggest arguments aside from rape on why abortion should stay legal. But what I found interesting was when I asked my doctor if I had the choice to save my daughter and let myself die, they wouldn't let me do that. So it's not really pro-choice. Doctor said the mother comes first. To me, that's not right. If I want the choice to save my child instead of myself, I should be able to make that choice. If I have the choice to let me kill it, how come I don't have the choice to let it live and let me die? But I just wanted to share my story because this was a kid that I didn't want. This was a kid my husband didn't want. This was as far from what I wanted as possible at the time. We had only been married 2 months. I mean, we're in our late 20s. We weren't teenagers or anything, or, broke. I mean, we're broke, but I mean, we didn't have the money. We still don't have the money. We weren't prepared. It interrupted plans. It was inconvenient. We didn't want it. I mean, and I had the epitome of all excuses to get rid of the baby for my health. I didn't. And it's the best choice I've ever made. I mean, this one kid has, made so many lives better, including mine. So I just share this with people so you know that you shouldn't make a decision on somebody's life on a choice. Everybody has the right to live. I am now awaiting a kidney transplant because I had my daughter. So, is that justification for her to die? No. Is that justification for any baby to die? No. I make this so people can think. These babies don't ask to be born. The majority of babies, 96% of all pregnancies, were choice. They may not have been a good choice, but they were the choice, and that was the choice. And I just ask that you not make a baby pay for your bad choice or somebody else's bad choice. I'm sorry for crying. I'm kind of a crier. But having my child has made me even more pro-life than ever before. So, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope I help one person move towards the pro-life movement. Thanks for watching.